Perfect. All right. Thank you for joining me for a 60-minute restorative yoga class. This is a floor-based class. It's gentle, it's slow. You do not need to have any prior yoga experience. You also don't need to have any fancy yoga props. However, you will want several different sized household pillows. You can grab some pillows and maybe a blanket to put over you at some point. You'll want either a yoga mat and or a carpeted area. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can use a carpeted area. And again, just some pillows of different sizes from around your house, as well as a blanket. So we're going to start by sitting in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. You can sit crisscross applesauce or in Sukhasana, easy pose with one foot in front of the other. Maybe rock back and forth, side to side, really start to feel your sit bones on the floor. You can sit up nice and tall. Take a nice slow breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just starting to arrive in your body, arrive in time and space. So restorative yoga, to me at least, my understanding of it is we're using yoga asanas, yoga postures to feel more relaxed, to feel more in touch with ourselves. You can take a nap during this class. So it's not about like getting the deepest stretch in a posture. It's really just about using yoga asanas as a means to relax and kind of enjoy your own company and take some time for you. So keep that in mind. This is not a class where we are like pushing to our deepest degree in every posture. We're just having some fun and taking some time to breathe. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise called even breathing. And the premise is very simple. You will inhale and exhale for even or equal amounts of time. We'll start by inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4, and we'll work our way up to a 6 count. Even breathing, for me, I always feel really relaxed afterwards. And in some studies around even breathing, it's been shown to even like lower blood pressure as well as stress. So anytime you're a little stressed out, you can just take some time to consciously inhale and exhale for the same amount of time. So sitting up tall, drop your shoulders, relax your face. You are welcome to close your eyes for the breathing exercise, or if closing your eyes is distracting, you can do a soft fuzzy gaze just beyond the tip of your nose. Seal your lips, exhale, and then begin. Inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, counting in your head. Exhale for 4, use the count to center your mind. This time, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through the nose for 5. Breathe out through the nose for 5. Breathe in 5. Breathe out 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 6. If your mind is wandering, use the count to center your thoughts. Exhale for 6, matching the exhale to the inhale. Breathe in 6. Breathe out 6. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale to whatever count you'd like, and when you're ready, match the exhale to the inhale. As you're ready, just return your breath to normal, in and out through your nose. So we won't force the breath for the rest of class or try to manipulate it anyway, but we will notice the breath, right? So if you ever notice that your breath becomes jagged, or you're having trouble breathing, or you're holding your breath or gritting your teeth, right? That might be a sign that you've pushed yourself a little too far. Again, especially this restorative yoga class is really kind of about the mental, emotional, spiritual benefits of yoga versus getting the deepest stretch to your hamstrings. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly open your eyes, maybe roll your shoulders forward a few times, backward a few times. Good, and then just sit up nice and tall. We're going to do a couple warm-up exercises, movements with our body before we hop into longer held postures. Take an inhale through your nose, stretch the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Exhale through your nose, tilt your right ear down towards your right shoulder, stretching the left side neck. And it's worth noting that I'm not mirroring you, so it might look like I'm moving my head to the left when in fact I am moving my head to the right. You're welcome to follow my words or my body movement either way. Just know that we will do the right side of postures first, unless I forget, which sometimes happens. Slowly roll your head down, let your head hang heavy, chin to chest. And then roll your left ear towards left shoulder, stretching the right side neck. This side might feel different. This neck movement might feel different from the last time you practiced it. We are not symmetrical, and this is not Groundhog's Day, right? So every side of your body might feel different, and every yoga class you take should feel a little bit different as well. Good. Slowly roll your head down, chin to chest. This time, let your head hang heavy without rounding your spine or hunching forward. So lift your chest, drop your shoulders back and down, and then let your head drop a little bit more. So it's just the neck spine moving at the beginning of class. Good. As you're ready, slowly roll your head back up, look straight ahead, and then lift your nose and chin, look up and maybe even back. Just gentle extension to the throat, compression to the neck spine, the cervical spine, just warming up the neck at the beginning of class. Good. Slowly roll your head back to center, look straight ahead, inhale, stretch up. Exhale through your nose, look over your right shoulder. So now we're twisting the spine. Look for the wall behind you. The spine moves in 6 different directions, right, left, backward, forward, twisting to each side, and we will do all of those in class. Good. Slowly unwind, come back to center, take your time. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale through your nose, look over your left shoulder. Notice if you're leaning to the left or leaning forward, sit up nice and tall like you're leaning against a wall behind you, and imagine eventually you would even press your left ear and the left side profile of your face to that wall as you twist and look back. Good. Slowly, carefully come back to center. Keep your left leg bent in, kick your right leg out. You can kick it out as wide as you want. The more you kick out the leg, the more you'll feel an inner thigh stretch. From here, take your right hand outside of your right thigh and reach your left arm long overhead. Roll your left rib cage back, lengthen through the left arm, and then drop the shoulder down. So we're just stretching the left side body, gently compressing the right side body, waking up the spine at the beginning of class. Good. Slowly come up to center. Kick your left leg out, bend your right leg in. Take your left hand outside of your left thigh and reach your right arm long overhead. On this side, scoop the left shoulder, left rib cage forward, and then stretch your right fingertips and the crown of your head to where the ceiling and left wall meet. Drop the shoulder, relax your jaw, breathe. Good. Slowly come up to center. Keep your left leg kicked out. Now kick your right leg out. Take a moment here, point your toes, flex your toes, point your toes, flex your toes, point your toes, relax your toes. Put your hands on the floor in front of you, stick your butt out and fold forward a little bit. Keep your spine long. So roll the shoulders back and down, lift your chin and chest slightly, look straight ahead, take an inhale. And on the exhale, if you'd like, you can fold a little bit more. Good. Slowly walk your hands in, come back to center. This time, bring your legs together. Point your toes, flex your toes, point your toes, flex your toes, relax your feet. Take an inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hands on the floor on either sides of your legs. Roll the shoulders back and down. Again, stick your butt out a little bit. Keep your neck spine long. Good. Just stretching the backs of the legs. Inhale. And if it feels good, use the exhale breath to get a little bit deeper into the posture. Good. Slowly come back to center. Keep your left leg straight. Bend your right leg so that your right foot is on the floor. Take your left hand close behind you like a kickstand or second spine. Take your right arm up towards the sky and then bend right elbow, placing right elbow inside of right knee. Now notice if the knee starts to turn to the right, try to keep your knee pointing up. So there's a little bit of an activation in the right hip flexor. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your left shoulder twist. So there's a little bit of tension between right elbow and right knee here, right? The right elbow pushes into the knee, but the knee resists a little bit. So the knee points up as you look back. Good. Slowly unwind, come back to center, take your right hand behind you, straighten your right leg, bend your left leg on the floor, reach your left arm up, bend left elbow, place left elbow on inside of left knee. And again, notice if the knee starts to come out, keep the knee pointing up, push the elbow into the knee. On the breath in, stretch up. And on the breath out, look over right shoulder and twist. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest, look back. Good, and slowly, gently come back to center. From here, we're going to make our way into a tabletop position for some cat-cows. So take a moment here, find your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders so that your back makes a nice long tabletop. Notice if your shoulders start to tense into your ears, press your knuckles into the floor, push the floor away from you to lengthen through your neck spine. We're going to move our spine. We're going to articulate our vertebrae. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose, round your spine like an angry cat. This is cat pose, meow. Drop your head, push the floor away from you. Pull your abdomen in slightly. Think about moving your hips towards your ribs and your ribs towards your hips, belly button to the ceiling. Cow pose, move your abdomen down, stick your butt up, open through your chest, roll the shoulders back and down, look up and back. So now we're bending the spine. As you're ready, exhale into your cat pose, rounding the spine. Compression to the front of the body, extension through the spine. Keep the knuckles activated and the shoulders out of the ears. Inhale into your cow pose, bring the abdomen down, shine the heart space forward, move your hips up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, keep the shoulders out of the ears as you look up and back. Last round, exhale into your cat pose, meow. When you're ready, inhale into your cow pose, move. And then exhale into neutrality, a nice long spine. Okay, next we're going to start to move into our more traditional restorative yoga postures utilizing our props. So you can make your way back onto your heels, sitting down. And we're going to grab some pillows here. Again, you don't need any fancy yoga bolsters or props, just some household pillows. If you have blocks and bolsters, you're welcome to use them, but otherwise just some props. We're going to take a child's pose. It's really supported. So you're going to open your knees slightly. This is not a closed-legged child's pose, but it's also not like a super wide-legged child's pose because we will be doing more hip openers later in class. And from here, you're just going to fold forward with as many pillows or blankets as you'd like in front of you. You can have your forehead on your pillows, or you can look to one side, and I'll tell you when we're halfway through and you can look to the other side. You can have your arms long in front of you. I like to bend my arms, bend the elbows. You can also have your arms down by your side. And as many pillows as you'd like under your chest. And if you'd like, you can also place pillows or blankets underneath or between, I should say, your calves and your hamstrings. So especially for folks with tight lower bodies where the hips stay lifted, placing some pillows between the hamstrings and calves can help you to really sink into the posture and allow the lower body to relax down. We're going to hold here for 5 minutes. And all you have to do is breathe through your nose. And if you ever see me looking at my phone, it's just because I'm timing the postures so that we are relatively close to the time that I'm saying we are. So using the props allows us to get a stretch without getting like the deepest stretch of all time, right? I should also mention that if you have tight toes, ankles, or knees, you are welcome to place a thin blanket underneath those delicate joints or to roll up your yoga mat so there's space there as well. And, in a child's pose, right, you could do it without props, of course, and really sink into the hips. But here, we're more just using child's pose as an opportunity to feel grounded and to let the floor and our pillows, our props hold us up. So just allow yourself to feel truly held as you breathe through your nose. If you're looking to one side, you can gently lift your head and look to the other side. See if you can relax just a little bit deeper halfway through. About a minute left. Notice where you might be still holding on to tension in the body. See if you can relax and really just allow yourself to give in to the posture, melt into your yoga posture, melt into your breath onto the floor. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. If you're looking in one direction, gently lift your head to look forward. Place your hands on either sides of your shoulders and slowly press yourself up. Even with the use of props, right? We still were in that posture for a while. So take your time slowly removing any pillows or blankets you might have been using. Any sort of counter stretch that feels right for you, right? You can do that, maybe stretching out a leg or an arm. And then as you're ready, you're going to turn and make your way onto your back for our first Savasana. All right, so lying on your back, with your arms down by your side, you're welcome to have your legs straight. However, for some folks, lying on the back with the legs straight doesn't feel so good, right? So if it doesn't feel good to your lower back to have your legs straight here, you can bend your legs so that your feet are on the floor about hip width distance and your knees rest together. Or you can place a small blanket or pillow underneath your lower lumbar spine, and that'll give you some support there. So in that posture, right, we stretched out through the toes, the ankles, the knees, the hips. We started to learn how to, use a prop, even something simple like a household pillow, to just relax into a posture a little bit more. And now we're just using the floor as a prop to let everything kind of lengthen and realign. Especially when we hold postures for long periods of time, you might notice that, maybe there's a little bit less circulation to your feet, or there's maybe a little bit more circulation to your hips or whatever that is. And so when we lie in a neutral position on our back, our blood can also flow unrestricted. And often I find for that very reason, the Savasana after a posture can be just as therapeutic, right? So for example, right now I feel a shift in temperature in my feet as I get a nice rush of blood to my toes after child's pose. And what I describe as my experience in an asana, whether it's a shift in temperature in my feet or, feeling something in my shoulders or my chest or a certain emotion that might come up, what I describe does not have to be your experience and vice versa. One of the things that I really love about yoga is we can all be doing the same posture and have really different experiences with them, not just in our physical body, but like, again, in our emotional, psychological, spiritual bodies as well. Okay, you're gonna bend your legs if they're not already, feet on the floor, roll off to one side. There's no rush here. As you're ready, you can put your hands on the floor and press yourself up. Next, we're going to do a side body stretch. I will show you, and then I'll show you some tricks and tips that I've learned along the way. The idea here is you can have a few pillows. You're going to sit forward so that one of your hips, I'm going to have my right hip next to my pillows. Then you can start to lie on the pillows. You can have your right arm long in front of you and your left arm overhead. Make sure that your head is supported. So I might even put an extra pillow here under my head. Having the left arm long overhead will stretch the left side body a little bit more, including the shoulder, but it can be a little intense. So you're always welcome to have your left hand down by your side. You can place a blanket or pillow in between your knees for a little extra support. And sometimes having two small pillows, one for your head and one for your torso, can also mean that your bottom shoulder can come to the right without it feeling like you're putting too much pressure on that shoulder, like this. Okay, and if you'd like, you can also place a blanket or pillow over you. We're gonna do this posture for 5 minutes, and at the halfway mark, I will offer a second part of it, is how I will put that. And if you're a side sleeper, right, this might feel familiar. It's part of the joy. Sometimes restorative yoga is referred to as sleeping yoga because, again, it's really gentle, and sometimes folks take a little snooze during class. And I think that's wonderful. I think if you ever fall asleep in a yoga class, you probably needed to rest, right? So that's okay. Halfway through the posture, you're welcome to stay here. You can also take this into a gentle spine twist. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have been told by a doctor not to do a spine twist, or have another reason not to put pressure on your abdomen or chest, you might consider staying here. Otherwise, if your left arm is long overhead, you can place your left hand to the left of your shoulder. You're going to unthread your right hand from underneath you and simply turn your torso down towards the floor, towards your pillows. You can have your head down. Some people teach this posture this way. I like to continue to look to the left with my right ear on my mat, but you're welcome to have your head down if that feels good, or look to the right. And now it's just a very subtle twist to the spine. I think sometimes, especially in yoga in the United States in 2021, we think that to have a good yoga class, we have to feel like the deepest, most intense stretch, or, if it's a super active, more standing power yoga type class, we want to get the biggest burn. And I really like those classes. I teach a lot of those classes. And I think there is real value in subtlety in a yoga practice, and real value in practicing gentleness with ourselves, especially in a world where so many of us push ourselves, right? So again, it's a subtle spine twist here. It's not like the deepest, opening to your chest or shoulders or deepest spine twist. Take an inhale through your nose. And an exhale through your nose. Take your time placing your hands outside of your shoulders. If you're looking to one side, gently lift your head, look forward. Placing your hands on the floor, slowly press yourself up. There's no rush. We're going to make our way back onto our back in Savasana. If you'd like to keep a pillow under your head, under your back, or your knees, you're welcome to do so, or to keep a blanket over your body. Otherwise, just turn and lie back down. So in those postures, right, we started by stretching one side of the body, and then some of us moved that into a spine twist. And now again, we're just lying on our backs, so that both sides of the body can kind of reset and realign. Okay, bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side, maybe the side you haven't rolled off to yet. Slowly press yourself up into a seated position. And we will do the other side of that side body stretch. I'm going to continue to face you. So this time sitting with your left hip against pillows, facing forward. You're going to take your time, bend your legs, start to come onto your side. You can have your left arm forward and your right arm overhead. And again, you can place a pillow in between your knees, maybe under your hips if that feels good, a blanket over your body if that feels good. Again, we're going to hold here for 5 minutes. It's also worth noting that this side might necessitate different props or just a different depth of the posture. You might know why that is, like maybe a shoulder surgery, right? Or something like that. Or you might have had no idea until just now, like,
whoa, my right torso is really tight there. My right ribs are really tight. So, maybe you have your arm overhead on one side, and then this side you want to bring your hand down. That's totally fine, right? Or you need to add or remove a pillow somewhere. That's okay. We're not symmetrical. We're not actively trying to continue to be asymmetrical, right? In general, you do something on one side, you want to do it on the other side, but at the same time, right? Right side, left side of body, front of body, back of body, they're all a little different. And every day is a little different too. So maybe the last time you took this class, right, it was easy to lie on your side, and now it doesn't feel so comfortable, and that's okay too. Just being gentle with yourself. Option to stay here or take your right hand close to your right shoulder outside of your face. You can unthread the needle, take your left hand out from under you, placing the left hand on left side body. Start to rotate your shoulders and chest and abdomen down towards the floor. And again, you can have your head on your pillow, or you can look to the left ear on your mat. And then we're gonna hold and breathe. And if you need to, like I just had to, excuse me, had to remove the pillow from under my head because of a tight shoulder. If you need to adjust your props, you're welcome to. And then just see if you can relax a little bit deeper and really allow the floor and the props to hold you up. Take a big inhale through your nose. Maybe intentionally expand your rib cage to really feel the torso stretch. And then slowly exhale through your nose. Feel the ribs gently contract. Let your shoulders fall. If you're looking to one side, look forward. Take your time placing your hands on either sides of your shoulders. Slowly press yourself up. There's no rush. And if you ever want to do any counter stretches or little movements in between asanas, you're welcome to. And make your way onto your back. Take your time rolling off to one side. And if you remember, maybe alternate which side that you're rolling off to between postures, but it's not of the utmost importance. And this time, we're going to place some pillows. You're going to sit up and place some pillows in front of you. And I'll show you what we're doing, and you can decide how many pillows you want. So the idea is you're going to lie on your back, and you can also place a pillow or a little blanket underneath your neck and head. So there's a little support there. And then from here, we're going to do a reclined butterfly pose with elevated legs. So you're going to start by bending your knees with your feet together, and then you're going to let your knees fall apart so that the soles of your feet touch. You can place as many or as few pillows, blocks, bolsters, etc. underneath your feet. And if you have kind of flimsy pillows like I do when your feet are on them, they will squish down, right? But take your time finding the amount of pillows or blankets that work for you. You want to make sure that your lower back is on the floor. Knees can fall apart here. We're going to hold here for 6 minutes. So this is a hip opener, a knee opener, but with elevated feet. So it's also soothing to the central nervous system. Most of you have probably heard me make this joke, so forgive me, but I just find it so charming. I'm tickled by it, but there's this joke that this posture, butterfly pose, is the most spiritual of postures because it's the meeting of two souls. The soles of your feet are touching, right? So again, it's a nice hip opener. There are versions of this posture where you might like push down on your knees or outer thighs to get a deeper hip opening. This does not have to be that, right? You just want a subtle hip opener as you lie on your back. And again, the elevated feet help to lower blood pressure, soothe the central nervous system. Anytime you kick your feet up, right? I love the idea, blood pooling coming down towards the heart, right? Again, helps to calm the body, but also the metaphor of like literally kicking your feet up and just enjoying class. Every once in a while, I teach a wall yoga class where we kick our feet up a lot and use a wall as a prop. I think I will do that in a few weeks. I was thinking about that earlier, but this is maybe a preview of wall yoga if you haven't practiced it yet, right? Just allowing yourself to kick your feet up as you hold and breathe. Notice where you might be holding on to some tension. Just lovingly see if you can breathe there. Just gently, slowly relax. Sometimes I find, for example, I'm holding tension in my abdomen, and no matter how hard I try, I'm still holding that tension, right? Even with all the yoga tools in my box. And that's okay, right? If there's a part of your body that you simply can't relax some days, that's okay. We're just practicing gentleness towards ourselves. We're lovingly observing our experience in our own body. And then, maybe with the help of some imagination, some intentional breath, we slowly start to release points of tension in the body, but it doesn't all have to happen at once. Can inhale through your nose, feel your chest rise. And exhale through your nose, observe your chest fall. Slowly start to bring your knees back together, pointing up towards the ceiling. You can even place your hands on your outer thighs to help this. And lift your feet and kind of unceremoniously kick your pillows off to the side. There's no graceful way to do that. And then let your legs relax down. Or right, you can bend the knees with the feet on the floor and or place a pillow under your lower back. We're coming back into our Savasana. So in that posture with elevated feet, right, we had a rush of blood towards the hips, which at the same time we're opening. And now as we turn our feet down, or at least they're not as elevated, right, you get a nice rush of blood back into the lower body. You're going to bend your legs if they're not already. Roll off to one side. Take your time sitting up. And our final asana of the day is a super supported back bend heart opener. So go ahead and grab those pillows again. And the idea here is you're going to sit facing away from some pillows. You want 1 or 2 big pillows for underneath your lower and middle back, and then another few pillows for underneath your head, so that your heart and your ribs are the highest part of your body, but you're not letting your head hang all the way back. So I'll show you, and this I find usually takes me a couple of tries just to figure out the right pillow combination for the day. So don't be afraid to play around, but again, sitting facing away from your pillows, you're going to take your time lying on your back so that your heart is the highest part in your body. And again, make sure that your head is not hanging all the way off. So we want to support the neck. You're also welcome to place a blanket over your body again, which always feels luxurious. We're going to hold here for 7 minutes. This is our longest posture of the day. For the lower body, you are welcome to keep your legs long. You can also bend your legs, feet about hip width distance, knees resting on the floor. For the upper body, you could have your arms out in a big expansive gesture. You can bend your arms, cactusing them like goalposts, or you can even place your hands on your heart or your abdomen or your ribs, depending on how high up your chest is and how long your arms are. And then we're just going to hold and breathe. So especially in a culture where we tend to hunch forward, right, over our laptops, over food, over kids, over our cell phones, right? That's the biggest one for most of us. Back bends are really good for spine health. And in yoga, there's tons of different back bend asanas. And some of them are standing or kneeling, right? Or they can be a little scary because you're teetering backwards. They're still really good for you, but they're active, right? Versus in this one with pillows and blankets, you know that you're not going anywhere. You're still getting that stretch to the front of the body, the healing compression to the spine, but you don't have to activate any muscles or focus on balance, right? You can truly relax. And I also think in our culture, and especially during COVID, our culture really values independence and like self-sufficiency, which, I'm right there with you. I like to be an independent woman, but also sometimes that means that we become, scared to ask for help, or we think that somehow if we're asking for support from someone or something, there's something wrong with us. And as silly as it might sound, this can manifest in even like not wanting to use yoga props during class, right? So here, if you have trouble asking for help, or if you have trouble feeling supported outside of yoga, just really allow yourself to like ask for help from your mat, from your pillows. Let the blanket support you, right? And just use this as a time to practice accepting support, right? Even if it's just from your floor or a pillow. And then maybe after class too, right? You can start to accept that love or that support or that helping hand from friends or coworkers or whatever that is. And if you feel like even though you want support outside of yoga, you don't have those structures in place, first of all, I'm sorry. Everybody deserves love and support, but also just use this as some time where you're really feeling grounded and anchored. And remember that you're loved, right? You're supported, you're cared for within your yoga community. Can you relax just a little deeper? And if the answer is no, that's okay. Just see if you can soften. Let the floor hold you up. You can inhale through your nose. And if you'd like, you can open your mouth this time and exhale through your mouth, side out. Getting out of this posture, especially after being in it for a while, can be a little awkward. You could, of course, bend your elbows and kind of push yourself up or roll off to one side. What I like to do is bend legs with feet on the floor. Squeeze your butt, push your heels into the floor, lift your hips off the floor, and remove 1 or 2 pillows from underneath the middle spine. And then remove 1 or 2 pillows from underneath the head. So you're kind of removing pillows at the time. Okay, we're going to make our way into our final Savasana. And you can really make this your own. You can keep a pillow under your head, under your lower back, maybe underneath your knees. You can place a blanket over your body. You can take up as much or as little space as you'd like. Especially if you're someone who tends to not take up space, right? This can be an opportunity to be like expansive and starfish. Or if you tend to feel like maybe there's a lot of eyes on you a lot of times, right? You can make yourself smaller, whatever it feels good for you. And we intentionally have 4 minutes here just to relax and breathe. So this is built into your yoga practice, right? And I really do believe that final Savasana is the most important posture that we do in class. In this class, you moved your spine right, left, backward, forward, stretching to each side, right? We open through the hips, the heart, the chest, the shoulders. Now you're just allowing yourself to really be heavy on the floor. And once again, just let the floor hold you up. Relax through your forehead and brows. Relax your jaw. Soften through your chest and shoulders. Let your abdomen be heavy. Relax through your upper arms, lower arms, and hands. Soften through your neck, middle back, lower back. Relax your seat and your hips. Soften through your thighs and calves. Let your feet be heavy. Hands be heavy. Head be heavy. Breathing in and breathing out. You can stay in your final Savasana for as long as you'd like. If you want to take a nap, go for it. When you do choose to get up slowly. And make sure that you sit up for a while before you stand up, especially if you have low blood pressure, because we have been on the floor for so long. If you've ever been lucky enough to have a professional massage, a lot of times after a massage, they'll hand you water. So they've worked into your muscles.
Same thing after a restorative yoga class. Make sure that you're drinking lots and lots of water tonight. Even though they were subtle movements in our body, we did hold them for a while, right? So make sure that you're drinking a lot of water to kind of wash out any muscle tension or lingering lactic acid in the buildup, lactic acid buildup in your body. I'm so relaxed. Words are hard right now. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye, friends.